So as usual, I have Darren Farwell of the Farwell Group. And week to week, Darren shares information so we can learn how to invest for our retirement and do so tax efficiently. So good morning, Darren.
Good morning, Marilyn.
What do you have for us today?
Well, Marilyn, some time ago, I was asked by a client, a little unusual request, to organize and moderate an estate planning meeting for her and her family. Now, it did happen to be during the summer, so listeners might not be surprised to hear that getting a family of 6 plus ones for some, getting a family of 6 together for a late summer meeting to discuss estate planning was no easy task. Now, that is, even though it was being held at a beautiful cottage in the Muskokas, the suggestion seemed to cause a lot of moaning, groaning, eye-rolling, and an impressive array of why I can't responses. Of course, that's totally understandable because really, estate planning is an outdated term that's laced with negative sentiment about death, taxes, and thinking about 25 years from now, a dreadfully long time in today's fast-paced world. But I'm not suggesting that I've got a better term than estate planning. I'll have to leave it for the financial marketing gurus to come up with something more up to date. I do wish they would hurry. Nonetheless, I'm here to emphasize that estate planning is not about death. It's about life, both now and in the future. Estate planning is about the lives of your family and loved ones, and as importantly, because more and more of our clients don't have that kind of traditional family we think of anymore, estate planning is about all those causes and goals that are important to you. A professional, well-considered estate plan can provide the peace of mind you get from knowing that you've addressed the important issues so you can relax and focus on your unique abilities and the thing that matters most. So, Marilyn, over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to review some of the tips and strategies we touched on in our family meeting with the Spraggs. So stay tuned, listeners. 5 weeks of tips and strategies for the tax-efficient management of your wealth for you and the people and causes that matter most. And if you'd like to get a head start of my discussion over the next 5 weeks, feel free to call me for our Estate Planning 10 Simple Steps guide, or check us out on Facebook, like us at the Farwell Group.
So I'm curious, why did your client ask you to organize an estate planning meeting with all her family if it's so unusual? What was she thinking?
Well, you're right. In fact, that was only the second time that I'd been asked to do that. It worked out quite well, but her thinking was her husband had passed away suddenly 2 years prior. And I'd been working with her and her trust professional to update her wills, her power of attorneys, her executors, and her name is Linda, she just wanted to share all of that with her family so everyone was prepared for what was going to happen and knew what their responsibilities might be. So it was her way of sharing her new vision, or the vision of what was looking forward out the next number of years.
So I think you could call it future life planning.
Now, there's a good one, Marilyn. I'll put that down on the list as possibilities for a new name.
Okay, so right today, if anyone wants this information, you have it written. What did you call it?
That's called the Estate Planning 10 Simple Tips.
Estate Planning 10 Simple Tips. And basically, one simple call to your regular line, and this can be a listener's plan?
Yes, if you call 416-863-7501. We can get that to you by mail, old snail mail, or by email.
Or if someone wants to talk to you about making a future life plan, we won't call it an estate plan, the same number works, 416-863-7501. And the Farwell Group has a website, so you're welcome to log on to that. And as usual, you can log on to marilyns.ca, where the Farwell Group has a link, and all the contact information for Darren is there too. So Darren, thank you. I look forward to the next few weeks and learning more about future life planning, I'll call it, and learning it from you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Marilyn.
So Darren is with us week to week. We have 5 weeks to learn about estate planning and benefit from the experience he's had since 1986, being the steward of personal wealth for each of his clients. The Farwell Group, Scotia Wealth Management, 416-863-7501. You can take charge of your wealth and charge of your plans by dealing with Darren Farwell and the Farwell Group. That number again, 416-863-7501. I'm Marilyn Weston, and you're definitely getting it straight from a woman's perspective here on Zoomer Radio.